All right. Hello and welcome to 1st of May 2025 JSR board meeting. Today, we'll be going through the issues, starting from where we left off last week. But first, I would say let's maybe go through the meeting notes from the board meeting. I feel like that's probably a good starter topic. That should be in the
Yeah.
It's in the issue tracker
Oh, okay.
meeting label. And it's closed. There we go. Yeah,
okay. Do you want to do this? Do you want me to go through it?
you can go through it.
Okay. So, yeah, the main thing that was new here was the metrics and moderation. So, we have download counts on JSR now, as you probably all have seen already. And also we have an admin panel, and we have a couple of community moderators now. The three community moderators that we have are Oliver, Augustine, and Doctor at Black is White. I think went through the admin UI like 2 weeks ago, Leo.
Yeah.
So probably if folks want to see that, they can go to that meeting, look at that meeting on YouTube.
Correct.
Then PNPM and Yarn both have native support for JSR now. I think we did a blog post on this. Should be somewhere over here. Yeah. So you can run PNPM add JSR : or Yarn add JSR : now. And that just works.
And the great thing about that, it
And
means
that
that
also,
packages now published to npm can depend on JSR packages if
yeah,
installed via
exactly.
those managers.
Exactly. And then finally, we're still figuring out where JSR is going to go into foundation. We're making progress with OpenJS, but yeah, we're also still looking at other alternatives like Linux Foundation or even establishing like a nonprofit or something like that. Does anyone have questions on that board meeting?
Seems like that's a no.
Okay, otherwise just feel free to ask and answer.
Oh, wait, someone's typing.
Cool.
Okay,
Oh,
it's all clear.
okay.
All right, so
Where did you all leave off last time?
last week we left off at page 8, I believe. We were on issue number 155. I think was the last thing we quickly discussed.
155. Okay.
Oh, I guess we have more issues now, so that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's. I think we quickly mentioned that and then ended.
Okay. So next PR or next issue is implex behavior.
I think so.
Cool. So I think there's two things related to this. One of them is the like obviously you can already do like yarn DLX with the JSR package and PNPM DLX now, but I don't think JSR adds like the bin entries to the package the npm compat tarballs it generates. There's an open PR for it that I opened last year, and I still have not landed, so probably get back to that. But I think that's the only thing that this is blocked on.
Okay. That's good. That one is detecting web APIs being used and which systems support that. I think that's gonna be really complicated.
I'm not even sure if this is about detection. I think this is just a a matter of like the user being able to specify what it is. I think like, for example, we could make a distinction for browsers between like, I don't know, requires baseline 2024, baseline 2025 or something.
Mm.
We could show the like MDN baseline logo, you know, this thing here.
Fair. Yeah, I guess that could work. Seems like a lot of effort for package authors, though, to figure out which version it works for. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true. There would probably also need to be some tools that can analyze your code and see like this is making use of these features. I don't know if necessarily that has to be a built-in tool, or that could be something that someone else writes.
Yeah. But overall, this is low priority.
Yeah. Documenting transitive types. I think, let's see here.
Throw output. Seems like it
Seems like
changed.
this package has changed.
And it didn't version fix it.
Uh,
I think it has to do with showing non-exported symbol, or non-publicly exported symbols, but symbols we consider private, and make them available when like that you can still look at them when you click on them, but they're not part of the public API. We have an open PR
yeah.
for that. I think there should be. Oh yeah, there is one open linked. Yeah, I need to finish that PR. It's from quite a while back.
Okay. We're in progress. Preview the transpired build so I can verify runtime compat with CI before publishing.
So this is, I guess, JSR pack. So being able to get,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something we want to do. I feel like that depends a bit on the case of David's work on extracting the JSR infrastructure out of Dino a bit, though, to make this more viable.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we also need to extract out the like actual generation of the npm tarballs out of the API server,
Yeah.
so that we can reuse that.
Makes sense.
Okay, account for single symbol modules.
Standard library, I'm sure, along with our package. Oh, I guess, yeah, it has to do.
I think what this is about is like if you go to, let's see here, this page.
Yeah.
Okay, it says a package point is deducted because no module exists.
Yeah, because there's not a module doc.
That's right.
For that entry point, which makes sense. But yet,
I think probably if a package only exports a single function, then or a single symbol, and the symbol has documentation on it, then that should probably also count as having documentation on the module for this point.
Okay.
Because like, what are you going to do? Otherwise, you're just going to put the same docs here again, right?
Yeah. Okay.
On the module.
Yeah. Yeah, because having duplicate text is not ideal. Also, if anyone has any questions or wants to bring up any topics at any point, just feel free to speak up or write a message. shouldn't be just me and Luca talking the entire time.
This one's probably pretty easy. So if somebody wants to get started with contributing to JSR,
Yeah,
we can point you to where in the code this is. Actually, let's pull it up right now and then just link it in the issue.
analysis
Remember where that is? Analysis.
should be, and then towards the bottom. Yeah, generate score. This function here. Right. Can you
Okay,
update the
cool.
status also? Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think this is them. I think this is
Yeah. Yeah.
XS. Okay, back to here. Scoring preview.
So this goes more
So I think
towards
this
the
is,
meta issue of previewing a package locally in general,
yeah.
which
Yeah, I think
is
this is blocked on broadly the same things as which one was it? The one we just looked at. This one here,
to some degree. I mean, the
like
problem,
extracting things.
the problem is then like we basically need to somehow render what we render on the website also in a way that can be rendered locally via the CLI, which is quite a lot of work. Like if you want to do a preview of the docs and the rest of the page of a package, which there is an issue somewhere for that as well. So seems relatively complicated and not something we're necessarily gonna do soon. But I guess we could, for this specific issue, do just that and extract that function and make it reusable between the CLI and uh, the server and just print it in the output.
Output, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense for dash dash dry run, right?
Yeah, it does.
We comment that on here. Okay. Self-hosting / private packages.
Two very completely separate issues, but yes.
Yes. Um, so okay, so I think the solution to this is going to be that JSR supports like self-hosting your own server and then passing through,
Mhm.
which means that you could have like one scope that you have locally in your self-hosted JSR, and then all other packages live on like the public JSR registry. And
Yeah,
that way you can self-host your own private packages.
yeah, that will be
Um,
quite tricky potentially, just because of like, hmm,
I think there's like a couple parts to this. One is like there's some external dependencies that the backend has that it
mhm.
uses. That like right now, for example, it depends on a certain search provider to do search, and we should make it so that it works, even if that doesn't exist. Then we need to figure out whether we can do like search across multiple multiple instances.
Mm-hmm.
Then we need to figure out how like for self-hosting, probably the whole moderation system is unnecessary because you're sort of dealing with a private group of people, and you can only authenticate with GitHub, which maybe you don't want. And then finally, the actual pass through, because right
Yeah,
now JSR like doesn't have the concept of pass through.
yeah, that's gonna be tricky with our database setup and relations between different tables, especially with the dependencies. Like, let's say my self-hosted instance depends on a package on JSR.io. That will be
Yeah,
tricky-ish.
I think this would work with like when you start up the JSR backend, you could
Mm.
tell it like you're a pass through JSR for these and these scopes. And then anything like if you try to import, for example, a dependency that is not one of those scopes, um, it would just mark it as sort of like an external dependency and link you to the real JSR, like the public JSR,
Mm,
when you click on it in the dependencies table, for example.
maybe. Overall, this definitely needs more investigation and planning ahead to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
able to achieve this. And I would say private packages in general, I feel like that would be, like, without having to self-host, I think is also a good feature to have. I thought about it,
yeah,
how we could
yeah.
do it, and for Dino itself, it wouldn't be difficult, but the tricky part gets in how do you want to do authentication now that Yarn and PMPM support it. That's the trickier part.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this needs some more discussion. Probably we should do like an entire uh meeting on this once to just discuss
Yeah,
how we can do self-hosting and private packages and like what needs people even have for that.
yeah.
But yeah, very popular, so probably should do this.
Mhm.
Add the ability to add a description to a scope.
Yeah, reasonable. Should be done. Shouldn't be too difficult. Not sure if it's a
Yeah,
good first issue, but
I mean, I don't see why not. It requires some backend change and some UI change if you want to do this. Um,
yeah, it's probably like an hour of work.
If you want, I can work on it. I already touched to Passport, so yeah, I have time.
Sure.
okay, yeah, sounds good. Thank you. Um, Next
Okay.
issue, JSR score does not depend on test coverage.
Yeah, that's.
So my inclination here, oh, go
No, go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, my inclination is that there's not really much we can do here because we
Mm-hmm.
cannot run people's tests because we're not a CI system, and I don't think we want to be a CI system. And we could have people upload their own coverage reports, but then they could just pretend to have coverage for things that they don't, or add like coverage ignore comments and everything. So I don't think this is very meaningful. If somebody wants to say they have coverage in their package, just put a badge in your README saying you have 100% coverage with like a link to code cover something.
Yeah.
But I don't really see how we could do this
Yeah, or else it could
built
just
in.
partially affect the score, like, I don't know, give 2 points if for coverage or something like that, or like based on the coverage percentage. But the amount of work for that seems like not necessarily worth it, I would
Yeah,
say. If someone wants to work on
I,
it,
I think I
sure.
think we should probably. I mean, I don't know. I think like I think we should probably just close this issue because I don't think there's a compelling way of doing this right now. And if
Mm-hmm.
somebody does, let's just open another issue.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, cool. And also, I don't think there's too much. Yeah, see, there's not that much feedback on this issue. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Prevent score regression on publishing.
So I guess, yeah, that is related to the score preview, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, or alternatively, I don't think this could we could implement this without that. We could implement
Yeah.
this as like a flag that you upload as part of the build, and then if the score isn't high enough during the build just fails. Like
Yeah,
the publish fails.
that could also work. It's probably easier right now.
You want to start with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once we have the infrastructure of the other one, we will move that over to the other one. Seems much simpler then.
Um, okay. So this is ready to do. And yeah, size looks about correct. Support changelog. I think this one already has a plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the way this would ultimately work is there's a tab, like a changelog tab.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's even in the versions tab.
Maybe.
And I think one really. Yeah, I mean, I think it could be either really. We could like redesign the versions tab
Yeah.
to have it be a changelog that also happens to display the versions. You know. I think another really cool feature here would be to be able to view the diff between the docs between two versions, but probably that's something
Yeah,
for later.
it's something I really do want to do at some point, but it needs some restructuring stuff in Dino doc, which will not necessarily be tricky, but yeah, it's not trivial either. So
Cool. Yeah, let's do this. Proxying to another JSR API.
We just discussed that.
Yep. So actually, let's post this as a duplicate. This is a bug. We don't have to talk about that. Using package JSON types field for JS packages. I think we auto discover the .d.ts files now, right, Leo?
Perhaps.
Or do we not? I don't remember.
I'm not entirely sure. Ask David.
Okay, we should investigate this one again. Yes,
Yeah.
I will go message David after this and ask him. Filter by 100% score.
Yeah, just a search.
Don't
We do have one overarching issue that's the reworking search, which is something I really, really want to do. it's not even much work. I just need to do it.
Okay.
Well, no, we
But
don't
we
support that.
don't
We
support score
support
right now.
runtime and scope. We never supported score yet.
Okay. But I don't think this is very difficult, right? This
No.
seems like where is it here?
This is relatively simple.
I think we can put a good position on this.
Yeah.
This involves making some changes in. I think this is only the front end, right?
Yeah, this is a front end only thing. No, it's not. It would be a back end and front end. We need to update the. Oh, maybe not. Oh no, since this uses Llama, then no. Then it's only front end.
Yeah. I think it's in this process filter.
Yeah, well, I would like to change the search to be more interactive and not just text-based. But yeah, that's a decent amount of work.
Sure.
Right, we're already at 27 minutes. I would say, do we have any?
Let's do like 2 more and then
Sure.
we're done. Okay. Publish attestations. This is some further provenance thing where currently we create attestations on the client, but the registry should also create an attestation that it actually published it. Skip over the bugs. Actually, maybe this one's fixed already. Let's see. Oh no, I don't think this is fixed. Yeah, this just requires some changes in the CLI to verify that all the imports exist. Missing docs. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so here we
Yeah, I guess just need some writing of documentation.
Yep, I think so too. Okay, let's do one more that actually is a feature. Support footnotes in the README. Do you not support that? Nope, clearly we don't.
That's.
I wonder if this is just a matter of updating something.
Don't think so.
Okay. But this doesn't need a plan. This is
this comes from the Dina doc, which uses one of the Rust crates, which is very against adding new features. So that we'll have to figure out a way around that.
okay.
So it's gonna be it's not an easy issue to fix. Let's put it like that. Except if we find some crate that does that for us already. So that's why it's a medium.
But it's not.
Yeah, it's ready.
Okay, but I mean it doesn't. It's ready to work on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean that was productive. We went through like one more page ish.
Yes. Does anyone still
We'll have a lot more to
any
do.
last minute topics to bring up? Any questions? Any comments? Anything? I'll take that as a no then. All right.
Okay.
I guess this is it. We'll reconvene in 2 weeks.
The ultimate folks.
See you around. Bye bye.